Joe, NCAA President Charlie Baker, well, the first thing that he didn't do was remember to file an appeal against Tennessee and Virginia, even though I don't think that they wanted to fight that case and continue the legal battle. Tennessee, Virginia, congratulations, you won your battle. But he came up with an interesting proposal today that, Joe, I got to admit, I don't know if I disagree with him on that betting companies should take away prop bets so that the integrity of the game would clean up from a betting perspective. Joe, I got to admit, I don't think that he's wrong. The problem with what he said, even though that he provided data in saying it, I do really believe that it's just not right and fair for the fans nor the companies. You can't tell a betting company what they can and can't bet against. I mean, maybe you can put federal regulations on it, maybe, but that's another 5 years down the line before we get anything done on a regulation, because betting companies, most of them lobbyists, are going to make sure that something that is their high. Joe, more people bet on prop bets than they do on actual games. So that's the massive part of their sports gambling. They're not going to go down without a fight.
Well, so you just brought up something that is going to get overlooked with anyone who covers this. I think the amount of lobbying that has come from these betting entities that has gotten it legalized in all these states.
Your home state was the first one.
They have so much control, so much control. And I would even argue, I don't think a lot of these other professional leagues are going to speak out and say much because of the fact that their money is in the pockets of those commissioners. They are influencing some of their decision-making, and we're seeing it with the increased level of sponsorship across all of these leagues.
Right.
I think like my biggest piece with all this is they should be banned. First of all, they should be banned. The prop bet thing, there's too much of an opportunity for players in games to influence them. It sucks as a fan. And as somebody who I place, you want to know what the most of my bets are? Most of my bets are
prop bets.
They're strikeout bets on baseball. I don't bet that much on NFL games. I bet a lot of college football game outcomes, but I bet a million strikeout and hit over-unders. That's my primary bet. And it sucks that that's going to happen, but there's too much influence that can happen with guys throwing games that are low-level players that are looking to make a little bit of extra money, that are trying to, sell information to outsiders or betting fiends that are trying to influence the outcomes of games. That stuff's problematic. That's where the biggest issue comes into play. I think it's a lot harder to shave points and do all that stuff and to do it effectively. I would just like to see the commissioners of all these other leagues to not allow the betting companies to influence them and back Charlie Baker in this statement.
They're not going to do it. Can I tell you why?
Probably not.
Well, Joe, your home state of New Jersey was the first state to legalize on-phone gambling, the sports gambling on the phone. I went and looked at this. Joe, do you want to know what your home state generated just in year one in revenue, the state? $1.2 billion, with a B, $billion for the state of New Jersey. Now, I'm sure a lot of that had to do with people from New York going across the bridge, whatever. Isn't it a bridge? And don't you go across a bridge to get to Jersey?
Yes, tunnel. You're talking about from Philly to, or you're talking about New York to New Jersey?
New York.
No, never mind. Just what was your point?
Do you go over a bridge to get from Queens to Jersey or something?
You can't get from Queens to Jersey.
Okay, I don't know New York, even though I got a Mickey Mantle book back here. By the way, when are you going to bring me to New York? I love the Yankees.
I'm not even in New York. You go to New York. What are you talking about?
One thing that me and you would probably agree on is the New York Yankees. By the way, did you see my Mickey Mantle book, the last hero?
I didn't.
I just believe, Joe, for me, that there's too much money involved in this. Prop bets being the biggest thing for gambling companies, the lobbying that would go in behind it. Here's the truth. It's not going to work. And it's another thing that the NCAA is going to get wrong in, because legally, I don't think that they're going to be able to do it. Maybe they can do it in college and just do it in professional ranks. But, Joe, here's the problem that I have with this. He's right, but he's not going to be able to get this through. right? Like
it's like everything that he says. It's everything that he brings up. It sucks. Like he's got ideas, but they're not actionable.
And can I be on? Can I just be a little honest?
Mm-hmm.
I might have been wrong about Charlie Baker.
Oh, you're coming around on him. Welcome to the team.
I don't know if I'm not. I mean, Joe, what was he really doing against Tennessee? I don't want to get into it, but just because we brought it up in the beginning, they didn't go. See, normally what the NCAA would have done in the past, you know what they would have done? They would have fought Tennessee on this. He's like, guys, we can't win it. Why are we going to spend the money on legal to fight a case that we can't win? But here's the bottom line, though, Joe. He wasn't wrong. He knew it was pay for play. He was trying to do the right thing. I just don't know if I'm not coming around on him a little.
Well, I mean, you were the biggest supporter of the NCAA when we had this the whole debate about Tennessee and everything. You were pro NCAA, so I'm surprised that through all of this,
I'm not pro NCAA. I'm pro enforcement that benefits everybody having an equal playing field.
Okay. I mean, I do think, and I said this from the jump, or actually not from the jump, but after he had kind of made a couple of statements, I do think that Charlie Baker has far more capability to make changes than Mark Emmert did. Mark Emmert was a clown. I think Baker has ideas that work. I just don't know if he's ever going to get the support necessary to actually influence and make these changes. BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.